everyone, today I'm here to react to episode 2 of season 3 of The White Lotus. The first episode was really fun. I think the setting so far is my favorite of any season. It's just so pretty and gorgeous to look at while still, I think, conveying the kind of overwhelmingness of the jungle where you just kind of feel like free in a way, like you're out in the wild, but there's also like trees and monkeys and all this kind of claustrophobic stuff while at the same time being out in the open, and it's this wonderful juxtaposition. I also saw this really cool theory that I like. Well, it's kind of a like start to a theory because it's only just one episode, but the first time we see the siblings in particular who are just so weird. Like, I really don't know where that storyline is going, and I hope it ends up being normal, but I don't know. We see them in this position on the boat, and the positioning of them on the boat and the props that they have specifically represents see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And I just think for the siblings being the weirdest dynamic of this whole thing so far, that in particular really stood out to me because I just think it's very cool imagery that went over my head. So it's always cool when people can pick up on stuff like that. There's been a bunch of theories as to what each specific thing could represent for that character, and it's very cool to see all the analysis of that and everything. So I'm excited to dive into this episode, get to see the characters more and meet more about them, and see how they're awful people. So yeah, let's get started. There's something about this actress in particular that I just think she nails that like dynamic of being like, oh, it's all so great, but did you hear? Like, she just embodies that like false niceness so well, and it is like truly chilling to see because it's like, you know, people like this who are just like, everything's great, it's so great to see you look great, how's the divorce going, you know? The worst insult you could call someone. They look tired. They're gonna say she has a drinking problem as they're drinking wine and she went to bed. That's, oh my gosh, the lengths they go to is so funny. Did she hear what they were saying? That's actually kind of funny. They're talking shite about you and you're like, hello! Oh, well, at least they straight up admit it. That's all the like, that's like the like nice weather we're having. Like, that's always what they fall back on. It's just being like, you look so great. And it's like, it starts to mean a lot less when you say it all the time. The monkeys are like, again, I'm not a fan of monkeys. Like, I feel like they do their thing, I do mine. The paths do not cross. But I just feel like, yeah, the monkeys are kind of like everywhere. And I feel like everyone's like, oh, cute monkeys. But it's like, mm-mm. Oh, he's blaming her? That's nice. She knows her? She's so rude. Like, you can't even look her in the eye like a human being. Is there something up with her too, or is she just being awful? Because I feel like she's like, didn't want someone to recognize her or something. Did she have an affair or something that weekend? It's just weird how she's acting like she's like lesser than her. At least they all acknowledge it and are like laughing in her face, because I would be like, ma'am, that was a wild reaction. I can't tell if she's just genuinely a mean person and like thinks she's above her, or if she's like actually being like, actually there's a secret that I don't want you to know that I'm connected to. Mean? Yeah. A high? Okay, I don't like her, officially. She's up there with Saxon now. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have her number now. She's definitely one of those, like, she makes all the jokes at the expense of, like, other women to be one of the boys and, like, hang out with them, right? And be like, they can't pick on me because I see how, like, frail and stupid women are, and I'm gonna call that out so that I can hang out with the boys. Like, I feel like that's totally her vibe. Male-centered woman. Also, I just realized, too, she was acting like she didn't even know her, but then she's like, the baby shower 10 years ago. Like, it all, like, she knew who it was. I love her so much. And I kind of actually do like their dynamic. I like that he's so grumpy and she's always just like, you know? Ew, sir, no thank you. Are you kidding me? That's so uncomfortable, dude. Like, seriously? Gross. And the fact that she laughs too, the mom, like, she so enables this and you can see it. Gosh, she is just so gorgeous. Oh dear. Never good when they laugh in your face after you say that. I feel like he's gonna get wrapped up in something because of her, maybe indirectly, like how she was saying, like, you've gotta be brave or whatever last episode. Like, I feel like he's just gonna try and do something to, like, win her affection, and it's gonna go bad, and he's gonna get in over his head. So I could see potentially he could be the body, but then I'm thinking, was he one of the people we saw? I just feel like I could very much see him getting in over his head. I also could see her being more involved and then she's leading on, because she did seem awfully chummy with the bodyguards who could have been planning something like outside of everything. I just feel bad. I feel like his position as like a guard who watches and kind of sees stuff come in and out, he could definitely hear or see something that's gonna lead to an untimely demise. Gosh, whoever dressed him dresses him perfectly, because like the sunglasses, the backwards cap, well, the sunglasses specifically with the like thing on it, and then the backwards cap is just like A plus, tells you exactly who his character is without him even opening his mouth. I'm glad she sees through it. People were speculating that Saxon's going to be the dead body, but I'm not going to get my hopes up enough that someone who actually is awful is going to get what's coming to them. Because, I mean, look who's died in the other ones. It's never the person you really want it to be. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. A hammock in the sea? I've never seen that before. So I kind of have two prevailing theories with Lachlan right now. And I know it hasn't been a lot, but my one thing is, first, I think he may be like not actually part of the family. Like, I think he could be like a secret affair child or something, just because of the way he acts. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like there's a way he acts that's different from the rest of the family. It seemed kind of disconnected, which could just be leading to the idea of like he's torn between like going to his mom's school or his dad's school right now. But there's just something a little off about it. The second thing, which I think is actually the more likely thing, is that he's gay and he's like struggling to come to terms with that, or struggling to talk to that about his family with that and stuff, because I just feel like the vibes of like how Saxon is pushing him so hard on like going after women and stuff like that, like he just doesn't seem all that interested in it, and it seems more performative when he is, whereas I feel like with his sister he's more kind of chill and she's like actually asking him questions about like what he enjoys. So I feel like those two things are kind of, I mean, maybe they're both true, but I feel like that's what I'm leaning towards right now. Oh, the music changed where she's just like, excuse me? That was a loaded response, I feel like. There are some theories about them, and I feel like that kind of blends into it. Oh, it's so weird. Oh, it's weird. Oh my gosh, dude. That's weird. I feel more like that was him trying to connect, though, of like he feels on the outside as like someone who has not had sex, and like his brother's trying to make it seem so weird. I feel like he's just trying to have a genuine conversation with her and be like, hey, I'm nervous about it, and like I'm nervous that I haven't. But I feel like not the right time and place. You know what I mean? That was more the vibe I got. Also, her bathing suit, by the way, gorgeous. Like, I also really love the wardrobe this season. Like, I feel like the pops of color they're picking for things really stick out with, like, the greenery background. Um, Sir, isn't that kind of like one of your few jobs is to make sure you check people in? I feel like this guy's distracting him on purpose. Like, it's too convenient that he just rolls up and is like, hey, look at me, not at that car. Oh no. Just walking into a hotel? No, Chelsea, my girl. No one knows. There's not like a trip alarm. I feel like that snake necklace is gonna come back up. They really focused on it. Oh my gosh. Where were you? That's so suspicious. That she's coming out like, me? A robber was here? Like, what the heck? She could not have been acting more if she tried. Oh, hello. Oh, we should just full on lifting up. Yeah, maybe they should have better security at this resort. But I guess they think no one would try it. Oh, there's a second person? Do we see what they look like? Because they didn't look like they had a mask on. Again, it doesn't look like there are security cameras or anything, though. Yikes. I mean, I guess even... He probably couldn't have stopped them from coming in. They would have just knocked him out and gone in anyway. But yikes. Aww. That's sweet. He looks genuinely worried for her. I really think he does care for her. I think he's just grumpy, you know? And I don't know. I know it's White Lotus. I know he's older than her, but some part of me is like, I hope those two crazy kids can make it. See, I feel like maybe this is like the first thing. Maybe that was a test on the robbers' part too. Like if they could get in and then they want to steal like from the actual people that like bring their valuables and stuff. So maybe that was just like a test run. And I feel like he's gonna like get all excited that like she cares about him and like he looked brave and tough in this. And now when something else happens, he's gonna be like, no, I can handle it because then she'll think I'm brave and tough and she'll like me and it's just gonna go bad. Why is he like, ooh, what? He's so weird. Ew, his laugh is so like, like their laugh together too grinds me. Oh yeah, of course she can't take the joke, right? That's it. It's crazy how people like that it's like, how hard is it just to not make jokes that make me uncomfortable? Okay, like if you like need them so badly, make them when I'm not around. But the fact that like it's so important a part of your personality that like I have to not be offended is just wild. I really like Piper so far, and I feel like usually when they have characters like this, like they end up not being as good as they originally seem. But I really like her so far, and maybe part of that is because she's just so gorgeous. But I also like don't want to see her just like her image tarnished, you know, like it was in other cases of characters who you thought were so great and then fell so far. I love him so much. I don't know what his character's deal is, but I just like him. Again, maybe it's I've got too much follow in me still, but I like him. He didn't know that? Oh my gosh. No, they're actually very different things. See, it's weird because I feel like their relationship is supposed to be similar to Chelsea and Rick, but it's not. Like, I don't know. First of all, he's not that like blasé about just like whatever, I got that wrong. And then second of all, like she just kind of lets it go. So I don't know, is it showing that they are kind of a better match? I like them, okay? Like what can I say? Uh-oh. Belinda, stay away from him. It's not safe. Wait a second. Is that who I think it is? Is that my boy? My Oscar-winning boy? That's so funny. I literally just saw him in Love Hurts this week. Didn't like it that much, I'll be honest, but I love him. See, I told you this is the second time he's been around there when like he's on a phone call. Tim, bro, the boat is sinking. Now's not the time to try and, you know, repair the holes. Um, should you be like admitting this on a phone? Like I feel like that's kind of a thing you don't admit anywhere, even especially on a phone that could be tapped probably. I just love Kate. Like her expressions are so funny and she never starts the shite, but she's always like, "Yes." Like when you preach it, like when you talk to her about it, she's like she's so it just shows you that she's constantly thinking of it, but she won't ever be the first one to say it, and I just think it's hysterical. Like her mannerisms are perfect. Please. People throw that word around so easy. It's also funny how it's like they've made it a point to, like, offhand, but be like, oh, I haven't seen her in 4 years. Like, we only talk on the phone, blah, blah, blah. but then they get to each other and they talk about the other person that's not there like it's the end all be all. Like they know everything, you know? And it's just so funny to see those two things at war of like, you don't know their everyday life, but you're gonna sit here and be like, she's so competitive, she's so vain. Not the husband. That was also a good movie though. Yes! These three are nailing their characters in particular. Like, Kate's my favorite, but all three of them are so funny. Again, based on what? Like, you have seen nothing of her. I've never heard that in my life. And I love how she just said that, like, that's as common as it's raining cats and dogs. She's like, you know what they say? The bigger the front, the bigger the back. Like, what? It's just like everything they speak as their opinion, they speak it as fact, and it's so funny. Like, I think she's lonely. She's competitive. Her and her husband are never together. That's weird. And it's like, you don't know any of this. Uh-oh. Yeah, and if anyone has a leg to stand on, like, if she's the one paying for this, I'm gonna be like, alright, girls, get out. You know what I mean? Everyone gossips about each other, but if you're paying the rent, get out. You can decide who stays. Chelsea, I really hope this isn't foreboding. The only other thing I thought was Victoria saying something about like a coffin. Oh, I think she slept like in a coffin or something. And I was like, that could be another hint at her being the body. I'm still thinking it's either Mook's love interest guy, or I could also see it being Lachlan, which would be really sad, but I could see it being him. Is he gonna kill this man? I'm so confused with what's happening. I don't want you to leave her alone. I feel unsafe when she's alone for her. See, I think that's part of the reason he likes her. She doesn't really ask questions. She's like, okay. Oh, they are cute. I don't know. Like, I feel like there is genuine care on his part for her. And she definitely cares for him. I don't know. I have a feeling she's gonna get wrapped up in all this. The innocent seeming people do not usually make it out the best on shows like this. Huh. Well, the tsunami's coming for your family. But I don't know if your wife would believe you if you told her. She'd be like, no, no, no. We'll make it out of this. That story for sure is like relating to something that's going to happen. I don't think an actual tsunami would happen, but just like maybe the tidal wave that's about to come for the family, like the press and losing their money and everything like that. That's the second episode too that ended specifically on Tim and like him being stressed about like their financial situation. I feel like he's kind of, how do I say this nicely, an idiot? Because it's like you don't get on your phone and admit that like you made $10 million from like you don't talk to the person who's like you act like you've never seen them, you don't know what's going on. Like he did all the wrong things, and I feel like it's very obvious that he did all the wrong things. So I don't know, I feel like in this episode he kind of just dug his hole deeper, whereas if he just ignored it and like gone with the no comment, blah blah, like we couldn't reach them, like this story probably would have been so different. But now him scrambling to try and fix everything and figure everything out, I think is implicating him even more so. I also feel like we got to see more of the trio of girls this episode, which was really fun because I'm so intrigued by them. I feel like there's a certain way that female friendships are portrayed that feels very fake to me in a way when they all like turn on each other or stuff like that. But I feel like this does feel more authentic in a way, I think, because it's a friendship that's acting like it's deeper than it is. Like, it's not like they see each other every day and are just, like, talking bad about each other behind each other's backs. It's like they're acting like there's this lasting bond between them, but really, like, they're all talking bad about the other person because they don't know each other anymore. So I think that's why it feels a little bit more authentic to me and not just like, oh, we're writing girls who crap on other girls, you know? So I'm intrigued to see how that develops and that competitiveness and everything, because we already saw that Jacqueline is starting to hear, and I think if you're talking bad about someone, you automatically have to suspect that like they're going to be talking bad about you too. You know what I mean? So definitely interesting developments. My boy Rick is also going to be gone next episode or in Bangkok looking for whatever it is he's looking for. So it'll be interesting to see like what happens further with the robbery, because I feel like that was definitely setting something up. Chelsea being involved with like I just don't trust it. I don't like it. And I still think that girl was more involved because her just coming out of the wardrobe being like, oh my gosh, what was that? What happened? And like gone for all of it is way too convenient. So yeah, if you've seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments and leave like all your theories, what you noticed, and what you think is being set up for stuff later on in episodes. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!